Hi, it's Roger here with episode 28 of Entrepreneur TV, and we are carrying on from the last episode when we talked about how to get over the excuses of getting stuck in your business so you can start actually getting to build your business with an awesome team around you as well. And this is the next step to do that. It's all part of something called Establish Your Enterprise. We are here right now at our resort, Vision Villas in Bali. So here is the entrance. I'm about to take you into where we have our global partners meeting right now. So that means that we've actually got people from all over the world that have traveled in, and a large amount of our business comes from different countries as a result of attracting the right partners and the right team. So how do you do that? What's the first step to kind of get out of your way to do it? It's lunchtime, so we're getting inside here. We give free coconuts, unlimited coconuts when you come to Vision Villas. And here is where we have the lunch going on over here. And we're about to go outside and into our conference space, which is where I just wanted to show you one of the most important things which allows you to detach yourself from your business. Because in the early days, we kind of model ourselves around our business. It's like yellow level is when it's one person doing all things. Green level is when it's all people doing one thing. It's like the next level up where you're actually saying, how do we actually have a business which has its own personality, where there's a DNA within each person who joins this business, where they just become a great ambassador and they become like as strong potentially as even the founder at being able to run this business or to be able to operate within this business with the same values. And this is all about how do you build a culture. I mean, like when you're a small business, you don't have to think about this so much because, you know, everyone that you're working with, they're all seeing how you do it. You know, they can follow along. They can hear when you say, don't do it this way, do it that way. But if you're going to be in a position where your business can run without you, then that means that your business needs its own culture, which is separate from you. And that means turning it into a code. So I'm going to show you our Genius Culture Code, which we use within Entrepreneurs Institute. Here we are going into our main room right now. And as you can see here, we have everybody posting up their plans on the wall and on the windows. We use a lot of post-it notes, as you can see, because that way you can get very visual, and you can also change things as you go, as we kind of go through this planning together. This is where we actually plan out all of 2016. So here we are in April already doing that. And here you can see we have got a slide up. This one here is called Igniting Your Genius, which is our enterprise promise. It's behind everything we do. It's kind of like our DNA. And there's a number of different parts to our culture code. The way we did it is actually exactly like this. We actually put together all of these different post-it notes on what we got together as a team. We said, what would we do if we were saying to people 5 years in the future who are joining our business, and we were saying to them, here is how we expect everyone who comes into our business to operate. What would we do in terms of saying here are the most important words, important values? We kind of created this as a half-day program about a year and a half ago as we were really evolving the next stage of our business. We do this every 3 months. We get together and we co-create the next part of our business together as a team. And when we went through that exercise and everyone kind of like said, well, here's what we actually think is special about our company, here's what's different about it compared to others, it then built itself into a number of slides. And I want to show you these slides here because we have a total of 6 different values that we narrowed it down to within our culture code. And I'll just take you through a couple of these so you can kind of see what it is that we shared. First thing is we talked about who we are. This is not about what we do, it's about who we are. And as you can see here, we have continued to grow based on aiming to be a leading entrepreneur education group globally with a mission to empower and inspire entrepreneurs. And we do that through our Genius U platform, our online university, assessments, mentoring, events, and our entrepreneur resort, including this one right here. We created a philosophy, which is a philosophy around clearer direction. You know, if we actually see that the whole world is full of information overload, how do we make sure we don't just add more information, but we actually add direction, which is knowing where you are and where you want to go. And from that, that basically is our kind of like secret sauce of what we do, which is personalized learning. So everything is about taking assessments, finding out who you are, and then taking the personal path which is right for you. So that's my question to you. What is your secret sauce? What's the one thing you want everyone who comes into your business, whether they're a partner, or they're part of your team, to know is the most important thing, like your crown jewels, the thing that you want to make sure continues to grow stronger and stronger with their support on board as well? And then that leads us to our culture. This is not my culture, right? It's not the culture of one person in the company. It's the culture of everyone in the company. And everyone can even hold me accountable, even though I'm the founder of the organization, to these values. What do we stand for? If we're going to stand for something, we'll fall for anything. This is the whole bright, shiny object syndrome that we're always going to end up in doing the wrong thing if we're just getting distracted by whatever looks like is going to be the most exciting or interesting new thing that shows up. So we created a total of 6 values. And those 6 values happen to spell genius, right? This is something that we did together. We have G, which stands for global. And by the way, every single time we get together every 3 months in our strategy sessions with our team, or right now with our partners, we actually start the first half hour or hour going through these 6 values. And we ask everyone to brainstorm, where did this show up in the last 3 months? So when we talk about global here, you think, oh, that means it's a global business. But it means so much more than that to us. As it says, we always start with the whole, then work back to the parts. And I gave the example a couple of days ago about Buckminster Fuller, who talks about whole system thinking. You know, if you create a triangle with your hands, what he would say is the first shape you created was not the triangle. It was the universe minus a triangle, right? And so it's like, what's the impact of anything you create on the wider whole? And by thinking in this way, it means that even if you're going to launch a new product, or if you've got a new idea in your group, you'd be thinking, how does this impact everyone else within the group? How does it impact our partners? And by thinking in that way, you end up with a much more holistic view, and it's one that we constantly encourage, and we'll call people out if they're not thinking that way, if they end up kind of, you know, walking over each other because they're trying to get on with their thing without thinking of others around them as well. And we're also here to make a global impact. Our E stands for entrepreneurial, which is we maximize the failures that will steer us and avoid the failures that would sink us. And this also means that every time we're starting a new project, we say, what are the biggest risks that could actually fail the entire project? How do we minimize those? But also, what are the things we want to test and measure? And how do we maximize those? And we're constantly watching those two things, knowing that failure isn't all good. There's some failures where you can't afford to have them that you want to avoid. There's other failures, which is just like, you know, a ship which is going with the wind, which allows you to kind of like tack upwind even to get to where you want to get to. And it's all about the testing and measuring, which is something that we encourage everyone to do. And we'll call people out if they're not doing it, and we'll recognize people when they are. The N stands for natural. In nature, nothing is rushed and all is accomplished. You know, one of the examples I gave when we were here a couple of days ago with everyone is I shared that if you think about a plant that you're looking to grow, if you overwater the plant, if you give it too much, it's going to die. If you don't water it enough, it'll also die. So some of us are going too fast in our business. Some of us are going too slow. So getting a sense of what is the sustainable rhythm, the sustainable pattern that others can follow as well, so you're not rushing too fast and ending up getting ahead of yourself, or not taking action fast enough, which means that you end up going too slow, and either way, you either end up with too much cost of time or money, whereas at just the right time, everything will grow on its own. In nature, nothing is rushed and all is accomplished. I stands for inspiring, which is all about the experience. So every day we've been having experiences here together in Bali, and we just celebrated one of the team's birthday, just had that at lunchtime today. We had a big party last night. The whole thing's about how do we actually create an experience in everything we do, and then we also pass that on to our partners, to our customers, and it really is that question of how do we actually, rather than just give content or education, how do we actually create a life memory that's going to last for others as well? By knowing that that is one of our big values, that led us just on the team meeting that we had a few days ago to create something called Genius Moments, where everyone has a challenge to create key genius moments within their processes and within their products, and then share it at the next team meeting in 3 months' time. And then U stands for unique, which is all about our own genius. We focus on bettering our best. And for me, that is one of the most important things, no matter how much you are living your truth, no matter how much you're living your better self, strive to continue to expand, continue to improve where you're at for the future self that you're going to be. And so we constantly ask each other, right, what could we do even better in this area? Who out there could we learn from that already has taken a new best practice or learned a new thing that we could also add to ourselves and what we do? And then finally is the S, which is smart, and not smart from the point of view of just street smart or book smart, but silicon smart. You know, always continually seeking out a smarter way, measuring things, seeing is there a better way than the way we're doing it, and constantly seeing if things aren't working out or if things have evolved and changed, that we are also evolving and changing with ourselves on that pathway too. You take these 6 together, and those are our 6 values. And by having those and by keeping true to them, it's a bit like being a mum or a dad and having, having your child get to an age where they're actually now thinking for themselves, where they're getting support on their own as well. And that's really what going from yellow to the next level, green, is all about. How you can work on your business instead of in it, is that you're giving your business a chance to grow up. You're giving others a chance to feel as much ownership as you have in your business as well. And it all starts not with what you're going to do. It all starts with who you're going to be and who you're going to be collectively as a team. So with that said, I want you to be thinking, what's your culture? Don't figure it out for yourself. Make sure that you have a team, the ones that are important to you, figure out with you, co-create it. And I look forward to hearing whatever you come up with in the coming months ahead. I have put my culture code and our culture code as a team on SlideShare. There's a link there. Go ahead and put any links you'd like to as well. And I look forward to seeing what you come up with in the months ahead. Until the next video, we'll see you later.